Well, guys, it's finally Thursday, and we have ourselves a hanging man candle. So be ready to see all those YouTube channels because we're crashing down and we're going to 600, or we could actually look into what's actually happening here, look into it, pay attention to it, and then use our skills to figure out what's going on instead of just saying, hey, there's a hanging man candle, so this is definitely a lower high for the daily chart. If the daily chart does cross down, we will be paying attention to it, but we see no hints as of right now of that taking place. And today will have to be all in one shot. I will have to have a pretty brief video today. We have my sister-in-law's birthday, and we have a little baby, another baby coming over, a friend of mine. So we have a lot going on tonight, but I am going to make sure to put out information that I see as very helpful for you, and I really hope it helps you out. And I have put aside some time for this weekend to actually go into and put up two great videos for you, because I'm going to give a macro video on Saturday talking about that dollar, talking about volatility and what could happen going into 2026, right? Reminding us of the bigger picture, but then also giving you guys those updated weekly expected moves and talking about the week ahead. I will have a separate video for that on Sunday. Okay, so plenty of stuff coming out. I want to be as helpful as possible. That's the whole reason I created this channel. Daily scale not turned down, but turned up in positive territory. So if we're going to crash down, well, we better see a lower high from the 2-hour, or we have to potentially see a divergence from the 2-hour, right? Those are our hints that the daily scale is very likely to go in that downward direction. And what do we see straight off the bat? We do not see either of those things. We do not see any kind of divergence at this level. We do not see any kind of lower high at this level for that to turn down. So these are very, very easy things to pay attention to instead of watching a million YouTube videos, especially when someone says, hey, this exact candle is the reason that we're going to tear down. And that's their whole premise there. It's just not the best as it stands, in my opinion, right? In my opinion. I'm always open for people to know more than me, and I would love to learn from other people all the time. That's how I've been my entire life. But as it stands, we did something very critical with price action today. So we're going to go over that after we go over this MACD and the RSI. The RSI barely got to that overbought territory, and then kind of just moving sideways, almost like it's flagging, almost like we're flagging. Still looks like we're overall like, hey, we could squeeze to the upside. We could drop down and test that 5-day moving average. We could even see a bigger drop down to these type of areas and catch some kind of wick. But as of right now, you would say, what for the MACD? Well, the MACD is suggesting that we are in positive territory. You're in a positive trend. You're above the 5-day moving average. Your weekly expected move is in this area. So you would have to see a surprise, right? Because this is the 68% zone, and 32% of the time you'll see a move outside or a closure outside of those areas. So if you think a big crash is coming, that means you would have to violate the 68% zone, meaning you would have to see something crazy. And it would be really crazy because your MACD is very positive. Even if this wanted to dump and go past that 5-day, as long as we're curling up into positive territory, we can see more continued upside. So 688.44 for your daily expected move for tomorrow, and 680.36. Before I get into the price action thing, I do have to mention with these daily expected moves, I am calculating them just a tad bit early. I do have times marked off where I actually pull the implied volatility. And so I wanted to mention if these do change drastically for whatever reason, normally they do not, but I have to put that disclaimer there. Patreon members just have those notifications on. I will post the update to Patreon, but as far as if you're not part of Patreon, these levels will still be very, very good for you. Like 99% chance they will be very good for you tomorrow, just so you are aware. As it stands, I wanted to talk about not only the fact that we're looking pretty bullish still, right? We look like a pullback can come. As far as the MACD goes, can the 2-hour go down to that center line? Yeah, we created the 30-minute divergence we were kind of talking about, but you notice it's not getting that wave of selling. So if you can't break down when the momentum is weak, you can reset that and end up seeing a further squeeze, especially as people keep saying crash, crash, crash. Now, we're going to go over volatility in a little bit, but something critical to watch here is even if you do see a big drop, price action is now on your side as well. So not just the indicators, not just your MACD, not just the moving averages with the 5-day moving average looking for a retest as we take that back, but also you have seen us break above this level, right? We see the high point here of 684.96. Sorry, 684.96. Yep. 684.96, and we see the high point here of 685.35. So we have peaked our head above this. That thumbnail I had yesterday was overall a head and shoulders look, and as you peek your head above this, it says, yeah, we could pull back to grab liquidity, but since the algorithms have pushed it past this as a price action trader, which is not necessarily my 100% forte, I will admit that, right, because it's important I'm honest with you guys, we could see a 2-hour pullback, but price action is now with you. You are now in the stance here where not only are your indicators so positive that continuation is very, very probable, but you have broken through the critical level that says that we are most likely going to start reaching up to that 690 if we can get a solid retest of the 5-day moving average. In fact, you don't even need that retest of the 5-day moving average if I'm being 100%, but we are going to go over volatility in a bit. So I wanted to mention that in this video because now we're seeing even more things as we're overall moving sideways that are suggesting that we are going to see a new all-time high at the end of the year. And if you wanted my inclination of what we are going to talk about on Saturday, I think that we are going to set a trap very early on in January or dead at the end of December. That is what I'm thinking as of right now. As far as timing goes, I will update it as it stands. So make sure to tune in to our Saturday videos. Let's give you guys some levels for the Qs. The interesting thing about the Qs is they actually saw an increase in implied volatility. So once again, pay attention to Patreon if I do update those levels. These should be perfectly fine though. I just have to put that disclaimer out there just in case. 628.47. We're going to do this just from the 2-hour chart here. 628.47. To the upside, we see 617.29 to the downside. Once again, strong buyers above the 5-day moving average. MACD finally crossed down with a good confirmation. Now you're looking like what? Well, if this pullback's going to go deeper, the only thing is you pay attention to how it goes wrong. And the violation of the 2-hour curling down would be if the 30-minute is able to curl up here. That's how I like to do things. I like to use the 30-minute for the 2-hour chart as my kind of get out of risk, right? If I do not condone when a move breaks above the 5-day and you're in a serious positive trend, it's very, very rare that it's a good idea when volatility is dropping off dramatically as well to short an upward trend, right? This is a very positive trend. During a positive trend, you would look for positive trades. During a bullish trend, that is, you would look for bullish trades. So what you would be looking for is like, hey, take my foot off the gas now, look for a pullback, and then join the party again. But as of right now, the violation of that 2-hour crossing down would be if the 30 minutes able to confirm. You have seen that with the price action. You have seen that with the RSI. And if you're looking for the last indicator, you might be waiting for the morning to say, hey, get out of that position. But as of right now, I do not short things as they break through the 5-day in a serious positive trend. That's just not my business. Now, if taking a hedge or something like that is totally different. So these expected moves, very, very good. We've had all those 30-minute divergences, but we have not seen a complete disruption here. So as the 2-hour stands, if we want to keep squeezing to the upside, maybe we make some kind of squeeze trap. We have not seen the Qs actually do the price action thing. So I do have to mention that as of right now. Maybe the Qs want to reach up one more time on a Friday before they're able to subside and come down to set up some kind of left shoulder. So we still need the price action to give those probabilities. As of right now, the MACD getting down by the center line would say, hey, we need a big wave of selling to go negative here, right? So how this thing breaks down, right? How you actually say, hey, we have high probability now. We have a good probability of seeing a big bull trap, big crash right now. You have to see some kind of lower high, right? It is very rare that you are just going to see this fall through the floor and crash by 10%. You usually fall down a little bit too far below the 5-day moving average, and then you start to do the rolling, just like we discussed right over here, right? We keep rolling. That's what you'll continue to see. So as of right now, the Qs, I just want to make sure to clarify the Qs here in a serious positive 2-hour trend. We see no hints that the daily chart is going to curl down. That would mean even if the daily chart does curl down, you would still be looking at where that 2-hour is at, seeing if it creates some kind of higher low as you're above the 5-day and as your MACD is so positive as of right now. So we'll be watching that. But the one thing, if you are worried about, volatility is cheap. And so I totally understand if volatility, you were encouraged to maybe take some kind of hedge-like position. I don't think it was a a buy the house worth of volatility position, but you do see potential 2-hour divergences here. So let me talk about them. And we're going to talk about them very seriously, right? Because this is a serious time. And if you're trying to bet on some kind of crash because you're watching a bunch of videos that are talking about one hanging man candle or something, man, it's gonna be a hard time for you. Okay, it's gonna be a little rough because things are super positive right now. I'm not saying a wave of volatility can't come in. I'm not in calls right now. I'm looking for the pullback as of right now. I've been looking for that thing to move sideways a little more. I don't really trust this move as it stands, so I'm being patient. Patient is a very good thing, I think, at this time. That's exactly what I'm doing. As it stands, we do see potential 2-hour divergences with a little blip down here. Did that overall confirm? We see that on the RSI as well. Did that overall confirm? Yes. Now I'm going to talk about if it's violated. We did see a confirmation of this. So that would say, hey, yeah, we're going to start that uptrend, but did it fail by the end of the day? It did fail by the end of the day, and you started to violate the 30-minute divergences down here. Not on the MACD, but on the RSI just a tad bit, right? We took out this first point right here. We are still holding the main point for the near-term 30-minute divergence and the extended one across. These are very, very wonky. This is what happens during squeezing. What's going on here is we haven't seen the next big upward move, and we haven't seen a big downward move either. So what's happening is we're moving sideways, and what does that make people do? It makes people, instead of just saying, yeah, I'm bullish, they go, hey, we slowed down. We slowed down. Maybe I need a hedge. Maybe I need a hedge. Maybe I need a hedge. Maybe I should hedge. Maybe I should hedge. Then some kind of pullback can come. So as of right now, just to clarify, I know I'm going a little bit fast here. The 30-minute did violate that actually twice throughout the day, I believe, but it did violate that at the end of the day. So this would suggest that even volatility is saying, yeah, man, the volatility popping off, this seems like just some kind of hedging, maybe a little bit dynamic as we do head to that upside. And we're looking for that potential 2-hour pullback. So as of right now, I don't see anything, right? That, like, you can even see the volatility of volatility moving sideways, even if it wanted to flash up. No divergences, no higher lows. We can check VIX 9-day. Maybe that'll give us a good hint. You can see VIX 9-day. Hey, yeah, we got that pop in volatility. We have not seen the higher low. We do not see divergence at this time. Maybe a divergence shows up in the next few sessions. Maybe it shows up by the end of tomorrow. And Patreon members, make sure to have notifications on in case I do give you some kind of update. So I'll be watching these things. I'll be watching every form of volatility and possibly talking about it tomorrow if I have time. But as far as summing up this video, and I went a little overboard, so I need to hurry up. As it stands, very bullish trend from the 2-hour chart. We do not see any hints of some kind of crash as of right now. Volatility looks like some scared hedging, some little hedge positions, but that's about it. I do not see anything worrisome there. And now price action has officially crossed through these levels, telling you that if you do see some kind of pullback here, it most likely will be bought up by buyer demand. So you have price action on your side, you have the indicators in a serious positive trend on your side, and you overall just see, hey, the end of the year, do they really want to crash things around Christmas? And by they, I mean the 90% of people that, or the 10% of people that own 90% of the stocks. Probably not. They probably want you spending money at their companies, right? So that's overall how I view these things at this point. And I do hope this information is overall helpful for you. And I will have some better videos as far as getting in depth into things and slowing things down. I will be doing that over the weekend. I have set aside some time for you guys. So thank you so much for understanding. Thank you so much for being a part of this community. I really do appreciate it. And I hope this information is helpful for you. And I hope you have a great rest of your week. All right. Peace out.